Sorry,
that one doesn't make noise. I'm just with that one. Yeah. Do you want me to try? Yeah, I don't think we should. Because I think services are going to be long. I think we should start. Do you want me to try to settle, or do you want to just? No, you got it. Unless I don't lose focus, we have to see. to be together, to sing, to bring ruach and spirit to this Shabbat. How great it is that we are able to be together, to celebrate Shabbat, and to celebrate us in our next stage in our unified congregation. I promise you tonight there will be music you've never heard before, but we want you to sing along. Bring the spirit, bring the ruach, clap. The words will mostly be familiar. Some of the tunes might not be, right? Maybe. But we are so very excited. I'm very excited to welcome two people to celebrate with us. Michelle Cox, who you will quickly learn brings a little bit of spirit to her prayer leading as she adds music to tonight's services. And Rabbi Art Nemitov, who I have known since about the year I became bat mitzvah, because he was the rabbi who stood next to me, at that point having no clue that this is what I would be doing in my life when I became a bat mitzvah, and then also so great to get the band back together as the three of us work together in Kansas City. I am so very excited for us to be together and to celebrate Shabbat. Let's take a deep breath. As we inhale, let's inhale something great from this past week. And as we exhale, let's exhale all our worries away as we celebrate Shabbat together. I'm going to invite you to open up your prayer book, the thick blue book, either in front of you or behind you, to our Shabbat candle blessing, page 121. I'm going to invite Eliana to come join me. Eliana and Josh to come join me. 121. Need help? Can you hold my hand? Keep your arm here. Go with me.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
When Rabbi Smiley invited us to come and be part of this service, I didn't realize that we'd be leading the service. So I want to ask your forgiveness in advance, because I am sure I will do something that will go against the traditions of this community. And when I do, just roll your eyes and say, it's those Northerners. And we just got to get this out of the way now. Go Chiefs. Woo! I'm not sure what that means, but
we're going to take that as a good thing.
So this past week, I found myself in Washington, D.C.
Oh, you want me to?
Yeah, you remember this?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We used to work together. And I was at a conference called Multi-Faith Neighbor Network, a group of evangelical pastors, imams, and rabbis trying to create a new sense of what it means to work in partnership with one another. I was talking to the imam and the pastor who began this organization, and Bob Roberts says to me, so Art, what are you going to be doing Friday? And I said, well, I'm going to be in your neck of the woods. He says, my neck of the woods? You're coming to Dallas? I said, no, I'm going to be in Louisiana. He goes, that's not my neck of the woods, that's the South. And the imam says, what are you going to be doing? I told them about my friend and colleague and the honor of being able to participate in welcoming her into this community. And he said to me, do me a favor, the Imam said. Do me a favor. Please make sure that you bless her in the name of Muhammad. And the pastor said, well, you can't beat me on that one. And he says, make sure you bless her in the name of Jesus. And I thought, wow, what a world we live in where pastors, imams, and rabbis can joke together and celebrate in friendship. L'chadodi imagines a time that is all Shabbat, a time of joy, a time of friendship, a time of love, a time of peace. And while we're not there yet, we're about to embark on 24 hours of that gift. So I invite you, as Rabbi Smiley said a moment ago, everybody take a deep breath in. Take it out. In again. And out. And let us welcome the Shabbat bride, Shabbat groom, however we imagine Shabbat to be. Pages 138 and 139, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And when we get to verse 9, I'm going to invite us all at that point to rise and face that door to welcome Shabbat into our lives. Please join.
Shamor
Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bo'achem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seivchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
The words of Shalom Aleichem talk about angels who come to visit us. And the question is, do Jews believe in angels? The answer is, yeah, we do. Not only do we believe in the angels of the Bible, the angels, the three angels who go visit Abraham while he's healing. Not only do we believe in the angel who wrestles with Jacob, we also believe in the angel Gabriel, the angel of strength, or the angel Uriel, the angel of light. But those are far-fetched ideas. I believe that there are angels right here today. We have three right here who are leading us in our music, Michael and Joey and Michelle. And they have a unique gift that they give to us. And each of you, in your own unique way, is an angel. Because each of you has a gift. I don't know what it is, but you have a gift. And it's your gift to give to the world. So take a moment. Think about that gift. What is it that is unique about you that you give to others? Hold on to that gift. And let us bring those gifts to our prayer tonight. As we turn now to page 144 for Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbav, v'yamad yivrach v'yotei v'yamich malchutei, v'chayevon v'yom echon, u'chayed kol beit Yisrael. Magala, magala, u'izman kariv, v'meru
Please be seated.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Oreyo balayla, golel mipnei choshech, golel mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or.
Join us.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night.
Page 151. Let us read together at the top of the page. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. On page 152 and 153, we have the words of the Shema. But before we rise, I'd like to ask you to take a moment and recall that gift that you possess. That unique gift that is yours. That gift comes from God, however we understand God to be. And when we share that gift with others, we are sharing God with the ones whom we touch. God is one. God is all for us. Let us together rise.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Vaed.
Please be seated. Page 154.
Ve'ata et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinata levanecha v'dibarta b'ham v'shivtecha v'eitecha u'v'lechtecha b'derech u'shavtecha u'v'kumecha u'shartam le'ot ayadecha v'hayu etotafot me'einecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'v'yisharim
This Shabbat is Shabbat Bishlach. It is the Shabbat where we tell the story of the children of Israel crossing the sea as they leave Egypt. That miracle of the sea parting and the children of Israel crossing on the dry land. Many of us probably know the midrash of Nachshon, the one who didn't argue as to who was going to go in first, but simply went in first. And it's because of Nachshon, the sea splits. And in this week's Torah portion, as we will hear tomorrow morning, I believe. Thank you, Michelle. We will hear that phrase, Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Those words are found in our Torah. Who is like you, God, among all that is worshipped? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awe-inspiring, doing wonders? Nachshon was willing to take his gift and give it to the world. What was his gift? The chutzpah, to be first in line. You know, when you're at a buffet, you ever first in line? Never, right? You want somebody else to go first. He went first. We all have to be first sometime. Think about when you were first, when you broke a barrier, when you led other people. That's what we celebrate tonight. The ability to be with God in creating those moments. We turn to page 158. Join us in singing this wonderful prayer, Mi Chamocha. Page 161, we read together at the top. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai. Praise Sukkot Shalom Aleinu, V'Kol Amo Yisrael, V'Al Yerushalayim.
Ashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom.
What is that shelter of peace that we have? It is Shabbat, that gift that comes once a week. Page 162. Join us in celebrating Shabbat. Vishad. I'm going to raise the energy level here.
Hashamayim ve'et haaretz v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat v'asot et hashabat v'torah berit olam
U'vayom hashvi'i Shabbat v'inafash Shabbat v'inafash Shabbat
Page 164. Together we rise for tefillah. seated. Page 173, we read together, we read responsively by sentence at the top. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who suffer find solace.
May all who hurt find healing on this day.
May all who despair find purpose.
May all who wander find fulfillment on this day.
May this day fulfill its promise.
Baruch atah Adonai,
Kaddish Shabbat. We continue on page 174. Page 177. Together at the top. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the riches of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, Tov Shimcha L'cha Na'er L'Vodot.
Shalom Rav, O Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav, O Yisrael Shalom Ra Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Ra Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam.
Let us spend a few moments in our own private prayers.
The dream team leading us musically in prayer tonight. So I just have to say that I'm feeling that Shabbat Shalom. I'm feeling that peace that we're supposed to feel, and I hope many of us are feeling that peace. We know there are those that are having a little bit more trouble finding their peace. They might be with us tonight. They might be in our friends, our family, our community, and across the world. And maybe they're having trouble finding their peace because they suffer illness of body, illness of spirit, or illness of mind. So we turn our prayers now to those in need of healing. Our Misha Barak prayer of healing can be found on page 371. Tonight, as a community, we think of Joy Lewis, Lucy Silva, Minna Bat Yentel, Mordechai Ben Dina, Rowan Hausman, Anna Carlo, Judy Roheim, Frida Tamara Bat Liba Bela, Menucha Pese Bat Cherny Umosha, Gretchen Haynes, Steve Sinkoff, Linda Weinstein, Ruby Smolinski, Lee Kaplan, Jennifer Casson, Vicky Furstel, Storm Matthews, Ivo Spalatin, Terry Stern, Judith Von Brentnell, and Carol Lease Rosen. If there are others you are thinking of on this Shabbat in need of healing, I invite you to share their names aloud as one community now. Let us pray for all in need of healing.
Joey, awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. And Michelle, what a joy. What a joy. Thank you. Hi. What do you want to talk about tonight? We're done with that for tonight. Elie Wiesel, Alava Shalom, the Nobel laureate, tells the story of a young chassid who devoted his life to studying the religious texts of our people. Day and night, he would study the text to try to find the wisdom contained within. Late one night, this pious young man suddenly closes the Talmud text in front of him, runs out into the street, and starts yelling to the heavens, "What is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of life?" Well, his friends hear him in the middle of the night, and they come out. They try to calm him down, and he's unable to be contained, and he keeps asking, "What is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of life?" And finally they say to him, "Why don't you go to the Rebbe and see if the Rebbe can help you answer your question?" So the young man thought about it for a moment and, in fact, got on his horse and rode 2 towns over in the middle of the night to find his Rebbe. Late at night, early in the morning, he knocks on the door, of the Rebbe's house, and the Rebbe answers. And the Rebbe says, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And the young chassid comes into his house and says, Rebbe, I need to know what the meaning of life is. The Rebbe thinks about it for a moment and then stands up, walks over to the young man, and slaps him on his face. "Why, Rebbe, did you slap me? What have I done? All I ask is, what is the meaning of life?" "You are being foolish," answered the Rebbe. "You have such a great question. Why ruin it with an answer?" Answers separate us. Questions unite us. To be able to ask the questions, that is the job of a great rabbi. Friends, your rabbi is a great rabbi. She asks awesome questions. As she said, "I've known your rabbi for just shy of 30 years. Even as a young teenager, I remember that she asked good questions. And when about 6 years ago, I was trying to find a rabbi to work with me in Kansas City and saw that Rabbi Sarah Smiley had applied, I had a gut feeling that she would be the best rabbinic partner that I could ever have, because I remembered her questions. And when she came to be my partner in Kansas City, she did not disappoint. During our 3 years together, which were a little tumultuous, 3 months after she was there, we closed our building because we were renovating. And so we worked out of a satellite facility. And then we built our building, we renovated it. And then we closed again because of COVID. But during our 3 years together, she asked all the right and all the hard questions. They weren't easy to answer. They weren't easy to hear. But they were always the right questions. Despite the fact that many of us associate leadership with decisiveness, leadership is really about discovery. What is the secret to a leader knowing the needs of her people so that they might forge together the best path forward? It is asking questions. Questions give leaders the ability to make good decisions. So, Rabbi Smiley, I say to you tonight, do not be afraid to continue to ask the good and the hard questions. If you do, you will be in great company. For who is the hero of our Torah story, other than, of course, God? We read the Torah, it is Moses. Moses asks lots of questions. We just heard some of them in Torah portions just a couple of weeks ago. Who shall I say sent me? What is the meaning of this burning bush? Why send me? Moses had lots of questions in his life. Those questions helped him in leading his people, just as you, Rabbi, are tasked with leading this community. But there were two other qualities that Moses possessed that elevated his leadership. Both are qualities that are so much a part of you as well. The first is humility. Humble leaders are aware of their weaknesses, respect and promote the strengths of their partners, they're flexible, and they're willing to adapt and change their minds. And most importantly, they're eager to grow. To be humble means to know what you do not know. When good teachers know their limits and at the same time recognize the potential in their partners, well, that is when organizations, when synagogues thrive. Good rabbis, like Moses, like Rabbi Smiley, embrace humility. She can't say that, I can. She's too humble. And the next quality, beyond asking questions, beyond humility, is vulnerability. Rabbis who open themselves up to their congregations, who admit what they do not know, who shed the armor of self-protection. Well, this requires tremendous courage and a high level of self-understanding. And when they do, though, magic happens. For those they lead mirror the same behavior. And the result is what Martin Buber described as an I-vow relationship. Deep, abiding, and mutual. Moses recognized his own limits, permitted those around to challenge and to question, and from my own experience with your rabbi, so does Rabbi Smiley. So these are the qualities of a great rabbi. The ability to ask the right questions, the humility to walk lightly in this world, and the vulnerability to let others know her true self. As I have said, these are all part of your rabbi. Rabbi Smiley, I challenge you tonight to remember these gifts that you possess. Embrace them as you embrace this holy community. But you guys don't get off that easy. To you, this wonderful community that chose to blend itself to create something even greater than the sum of two individual congregations, I challenge you as well tonight. For rabbis can only be rabbis if there are those who choose to follow. To you, tonight, I say, ask your own good questions. Don't be so concerned with the answers. The questions, as Elie Wiesel recounts, are what unites us. To you, I say, be humble. Know where you've come from, know who you are, but leave space for others. Leave space for your rabbi to inspire you, to encourage you, to guide you. And finally, to you, I say, be vulnerable. One of the most remarkable gifts of your rabbi is the generosity of spirit that she possesses, which gives her the ability to heal others. Open up to her, give her your hands and hearts, so that together you might grow. Now, when Rabbi Smiley invited me to officiate at this installation, I was both flattered and amazed. The flattery part was obvious. I was deeply touched that she would want me to be part of this important moment in her and your life. But the amazed part? Well, when we think of installing something, we think of taking out our leather tool belts, right? And well, like installing a refrigerator or a furnace. And as your rabbi knows so well, I am not adept at using my hands at all. It's not part of my wheelhouse, so to speak. In fact, people often make fun of my inability to fix things. That being said, there's a reason why they call this event an installation. Because installing something requires the use of your hands. and is related to when Moses installs Aaron and his sons as the high priests. And it's related to when the prophet Samuel installs David as the king of Israel. Now, in the Torah, in the Bible, it doesn't talk about installing. It talks about anointing. And you anoint with oil, but you also anoint with your hands. By placing your hands on another, transferring authority and power and trust to that other person. There is power in the touch. There is power in passing faith and trust physically one to the other. And so I'm sure you're all asking, where is he going with this? I need your help tonight. For tonight we need to install your rabbi. And I need your help to do something that I'm not so good at. So I'm going to ask you all to trust me, if you would. I'm going to ask your rabbi to come and stand in the middle. She does not know this. Go over. Go right here. Yeah, right now. And in a moment, I'm going to ask everyone to take the sheet of paper that you have in your hands. She doesn't know about this either. She's not supposed to know it. Let's put it that way. Okay. And I'm going to ask you all to, now, if those who are able to please rise. And now here's the part that's going to be a little bit difficult. I'm going to ask those who are able to, well, actually this side, move that way. I'm going to ask everyone to take, if you're comfortable doing it, take a hand, place it on the shoulder of the person in front of you, or next to you, The idea is to create a chain, okay? That's what I want you to do. Now, you guys over here, can you move over this way, kind of move down and touch somebody else? And you guys over here, move over here and touch somebody else. Everybody needs to be touching so that somebody is touching Rabbi Smiley. Kids, you got it. Kids, you got it. Okay, everybody together? So here's what you're going to do. You got to have one hand free and the other hand with the sheet of paper. I'm going to read the first verse, you're going to read the second, I'm going to read the third, you're going to read the fourth. You got it? This is really hard. But since I can't do things with my hand, I can't install her, you need to install her. And you're going to install her with this blessing. May the one who blessed our ancestors. No, this is my line, guys. This is supposed to be a serious moment here. No, we didn't practice. Okay. I'm not even going to go there. I do the first paragraph. You do the second one. Got it? Okay. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, bless and sustain Rabbi Sarah Smiley. Give her strength to continue work in difficult times and generosity to share abundance when life is full. May she be blessed with a welcoming and supportive congregation and community. May Rabbi Smiley help this sacred community continue to be a home for celebration and exploration of Jewish learning, spirituality, and community. May Torah and tradition continue to be a source of joy for her, and may she be blessed with insight and inspiration as she opens our hearts, minds, and hands to Jewish learning and practice. May words of wisdom come from her lips and compassion fill her heart as we move together from strength to strength. We welcome you as our rabbi. Amen. Now, keep your hands there. Keep your hands there. You're not done. I didn't say Simon says. Just keep your hands there. What is a blessing? A blessing comes from God, but it's said on behalf of all of us. It's a blessing that asks that God grant your rabbi the gifts of health, of happiness, of wholeness. It is a blessing that she will give to dozens, hundreds of you during her tenure here as your spiritual guide. is the threefold blessing that is found in Torah. We all together are going to offer it to her at this time. Instructions. Michelle is going to sing the blessing in Hebrew. And then I'm going to ask you to repeat after me the English. Rabbi Smiley, may God bless you and keep you.
May God bless you and keep you.
Rabbi Smiley, may God lift up God's face to you, and be gracious to you. Rabbi Smiley, may God shine on you always, and grant you all of life's blessings. Health and happiness, friendship and love, but most of all, shalom. Amen. Please be seated.
The party didn't tell you was after I asked all of those questions. How many times I think right? Over and over and over again. I think Steve and our executive committee and board know my love of questions already here, as I think in week 1 I probably already asked 10,000 of them. But yes. I should say, I think Eliana and Josh also know my love of questions, as they don't stop at the synagogue. They travel home with me as well. So as she walks out of the room, but while eating dinner the other night, I asked Eliana, what were her favorite things about Baton Rouge so far? Remember the question? She jumped out of her seat, ran to the windows in our house, looked out at the construction zone that is in our backyard that will soon become a pool, and said, in Kansas, we didn't have a pool, and here we're going to have one. After laughing at her answer a bit, I asked, and what else? Thank goodness her next words were school. Thank you, Yuhai. And then she began to list names of some of her new friends, both her kindergarten classmates and people of this community. It was the people of this community that solidified Josh and I were making the right decision before ever we moved here. And it is you who still remind us each day that we made the right choice. We have been welcomed with open arms, and together are building upon the strong foundation of each legacy congregation to build this unified community. I am humbled and honored to call myself the first rabbi of UJCBR. I am lucky to work with wonderful staff. Heather, our executive director, who is willing to help with anything and plan for the future. Julie, our religious school director, who always says yes when I come up with another idea for our school, and if you didn't already know, has this magical ability to connect people and engage them in their Jewish life. Kathy and Aaron, who not only do all of the behind-the-scenes work, but are also always up for a good conversation. And James, be sure to thank him later, who makes sure this space is ready and goes above and beyond when the logistics change. And of course, that happens a lot around here. Beyond our staff, my first 7 months here have been made easier because of the dedication of many lay leaders. Those who serve on our executive committee and board, those who volunteer to lead committees, help in the office and plan programs, those who organized meals when we first arrived and made sure Josh, Eliana, yes, the dancing one over there, and I had the opportunity to meet people. There are way too many of you to name. The first big moment we tackled together, of course, after I got COVID and after I had to walk with a cane for a little bit, was celebrating the High Holy Days. Although the services were way too long, don't worry, I'm already working on changes for next year, they were a truly unifying moment for our community. From the first shofar blast during Erev Rosh Hashanah, to the past presidents of both legacy congregations standing here lining the aisles holding our Torahs during Kol Nidre, to the final moments when we broke the fast of Yom Kippur together in the social hall, green room, outside, spread throughout this building. We created a meaningful few days which would not have been possible without the dedication of the ritual committee led by Rachel Hausman and Jamie Strickler. And we are all lucky to be led by a synagogue president whose dedication to our success is one of his top priorities. Steve, thank you not only for the warm welcome, but for your partnership in everything, for your commitment to this community and your willingness when you thought you were about to be in retirement to take on this almost full-time job. Even before our arrival, it was you, the people of this community, who showed your support for Josh, Eliana, and I. After my first Zoom interview, which felt more like a collective conversation with the Rabbinic Search Committee, I knew there was something special about the people of this congregation. Each Zoom conversation allowed the members of the search committee, led by Harold Brandt and Mark Hausman, to get to know me better. But even more importantly, they helped me get to know this community. Through a computer screen, I could see the warm, compassionate, energetic people of Baton Rouge who were invested in the success of this congregation. And today, exactly 1 year and 3 days after that first Zoom conversation, I feel the same. Thank you all for welcoming us, embracing us, allowing my child to run through the hallways during services, and partnering with me to help this congregation go from strength to strength. It is so fitting that this weekend falls when Jews all over the world read the section of Torah called the Song of the Sea. This Shabbat actually has a special name. It is called Shabbat Shirah. Thanks to Michelle, Michael, and Joey, we are truly having a Shabbat Shirah, a Shabbat of song. As many of you know, I believe song to be an important aspect of Jewish prayer. Hearing voices come together, even if they're not singing the same melody or saying the same words, which I have learned is somehow how we do it in our community, it creates a beautiful energy that is hard to duplicate. And this, I told you, is a singing community. My hope is to continue to add more music to our prayer moments, and like tonight, expose us to all different kinds of Jewish music, which will bring about even more joy. The Israelites expressed this joy in our Torah portion this week, having experienced the extraordinary deliverance by God through the parted waters of the sea, knowing that the enemy that has enslaved them for centuries is finally vanquished, they erupt in song and dance. The concept of shirah, song in Judaism, has many layers. In Psalms, which is part of the daily liturgy, we read, "Sing to God a new song." We faithfully recite these words day after day. Yet how many of us have ever actually sang a new song to God. Even those who are musically or poetically inclined, how often do they compose something new and original? Shirah, I think, though, goes far beyond the recitation of words. It is an experience. Shirah, in its true sense, is the expression of the soul, as we experience it in any brief moment. Perhaps it takes its form from the words we say, yet it reaches far beyond verbs, nouns, and prepositions. The words are merely a vehicle from which we are to awaken our deepest thoughts and feelings and allow our souls to sing out to God. We sing communally, yet each soul finds its own inner expression of the moment. Indeed, each day a new song is sung. Sometimes experiencing the joy of singing a new song does not really mean musically. For some of us, this experience, this joyful moment, might not be in melody at all. Together, for us, it will be in the experiences we have as a community. It will be during a learning session, a creative program, or perhaps while cheering on the Tigers. It will be celebrating each other's birthdays, anniversaries, b'nai mitzvah, and other milestones. It will be having meals together at the many delicious restaurants in town. It will be hanging out in each other's living rooms and backyards. It will eventually be swimming in the pool that Eliana is so excited to have in our backyard. This is your open invitation if it is ever finished. It will be the feeling we create together as we walk into our renovated building and newly built sanctuary. It will be in the ability to call upon anyone in this room and know they will be there to help because we are one family. Together, we will repeatedly experience the joy the Israelites felt at the shores of the sea in this week's Torah portion. And together, we will always sing to God a new song. Shabbat Shalom. I'm going to invite us to return now to our prayer book so we can conclude our service. I invite you to turn to page 586, but I need some help. So I'm curious if any of the kids in the room want to walk up those stairs and help us open the ark. Everybody's invited. As they do, page 586. This is a new version for, I'm sure, many of us in the room, but let us join together in Aleinu. Please rise.
Adon Rabo, Latei Kin Lalei
our prayers draw to a close on this Shabbat evening, we turn our thoughts to our loved ones who are no more. Tonight, we remember 3 taken from us recently: Abraham Hutt, Ronald St. Pierre, and Josh Yellen. To their names, we add the names of those who passed away in the past year: Jim Bowman, R.B. Dickerson, Moni Mayer, Joanne Strickler, Richard Berenson Stone, John Wormser, Robert Eisenbach, Jerry Suppos, Donald Kim, Hannah Bine, Nathan Zuckerman, Bernie Flicker, Herman Van Oz, Shirley Marvin, Victoria Vestel, Morris Bonadonna, Lynn Schmulin, and Jerry Black. We also think of those who died at this season in years past, whose family members are observing the Yortzeit, the anniversary of death, on this Shabbat. Rosemary Brooks, Michael Carpenter, Ernest Dampf, Murray Davis, Barbara Dessenberg, Ruth Fenton, Kate Glazer, Jenny Holtzman, Gabriel Hausman Sr., Sarah Heidovitz, Theodore Hoffman, Sally Jellin, Herbert Jenkins, Beula Khan, Fred Korn, Helen Korn, Doris Meltzer, Leah Mull, Pam Mulkey, Rabbi Marvin Reznikoff, Sharon Silverstein, Dottie Smith, Lola Spiller, Jean Van Oz, Felix Weil, Fanny Zaglin, and Sarah Berenson Stone. If there are others you are thinking of on this Shabbat, if you'd like to share their names aloud, I invite you to do so as one community. For the names we heard aloud and those whom we hold in our hearts, we turn together to the words of Mourner's Kaddish, page 598, and I invite you to rise if you wish. Yit gadol v'yit kadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach yirotei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei dekol beit Yisrael, v'agalav v'bizman kariv v'imru, amen. Yahei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Leolam Olamei Almaya. Yit Barach V'yishtabach V'yipa'ar V'yitroman V'yitnaseh. V'yitzadar V'yitzaleh V'yitzalal Shmei D'Kudasha B'richu. Le'ela Minkol Birchata V'shirata. Tushbechata V'nechemata. Ta'amiran Ve'alma V'imru. Amen. Yahei Shlama Rabbah Min Shemaya. V'chaim Alinu Ve'akol Yisrael. V'imru. Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'asei shalom, aleinu ve'akol Yisrael, v'imru. Amen. May all their memories be for a blessing, as together we say. Amen. You may be seated. Gonna invite Steve, the president, very, very compassionate and dedicated president of our synagogue, to share some brief announcements.
Thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Wow, what an incredible Shabbat experience it's been tonight. Welcome to all who have joined us from near and far, and to all joining us remotely. Thank you for joining us tonight. We welcome you. Everyone is welcome here at the Unified Jewish Congregation. We especially welcome and thank Rabbi Nemitov and Michelle Cox for joining us throughout this weekend as we celebrate Rabbi Smiley's installation. And incredible thanks to you, Joey, and you, Michael, who always bring us such beautiful music and enhance these moments. Following services tonight, there's an Onik Shabbat in the social hall. Please join us tomorrow morning for Torah study led by Rabbi Nemitov at 9:30 a.m. in the green room and on Zoom. And as you heard, it's about the children of Israel crossing the Red Sea. At 10:30 a.m., please join us and we will gather here in the sanctuary for our Shabbat morning service. And then everyone is invited to join us for a Kaddish luncheon following services. Tomorrow afternoon, join us at the home of Robbie and David Rubin between 4 and 6 p.m. to socialize, enjoy some appetizers, and mark Havdalah. As we celebrate this weekend, we also look to our future. Information just went out in our monthly newsletter and in the weekly email about many opportunities to join in small groups to discuss the Jewish values that drive us as individuals and as a community. And Rabbi Smiley will have lots of questions for everybody, as we heard. Please sign up by clicking on the link or calling the office. Rabbi Smiley will lead these discussions and use the information she gathers to help plan for UJCBR's future. We want to hear from all of you. Thanks also to Amanda Bullman and Jill Roby Pike for chairing this weekend's activities, for everyone who helped out, to Elizabeth Clubb for the beautiful flowers, especially through